Hello and welcome to the DX Corner for your weekly dose of DX as part of Ham Radio's oldest ham radio magazine on the air, This Week in Amateur Radio. I'm Bill, age 8B. As of this Saturday, there will be 123 days until Christmas. Time is really flying, so we better get started. I apologize tonight for my disheveled appearance. I've been outside repairing the hex beam that was sent down in a storm a couple weeks ago. Finally got the spreaders fixed. My son helped me get it elevated and got the guy wires done. So just in time for the Ohio QSO party this weekend and hoping to pick up some multipliers all around the country and especially with those guys in Hawaii with their state QSO party. So if you hear AJ8B on the air this weekend, give me a call. Each week, I try to focus on those entities that will be available in the next 7 days. There's so much data to sift through that I thought a focus on just the next 7 might be helpful. Here's what you should find QRV when you tune the bands. The following DX information comes from Bernie, W3UR, editor of the DailyDX, the WeeklyDX, and the Howe's DX column in QST. If you would like a free 2-week trial of the DailyDX, your only source of real-time DX information, just drop me a note at thedxmentor@gmail.com. So here we go. Janusz, SP9FIH, is preparing for his DXPedition to Lord Howe Island, operating under the call sign of VK2-SP9FIH. The DXPedition is scheduled to run from August 27th to April 13th. Till September 13th, just outside of the 7-week window I mentioned, but just barely. So you might want to get ready for that one. Aldir PY1 SAD is headed back to 8 Radio, which is Guyana, where he is QRV in his spare time as 8 Romeo 1 Tango Mike until September 23rd. He's been on CW, sideband, and digital modes on all bands. Daya YI1IDZ is back in Juba, South Sudan as Zulu 81 Delta for a month and on the air mostly weekends on sideband and FT8. He has improved his antennas and his QRV on 80 through 10 meters. And you can QSL Z81 Delta through OM3JW. Andy, 5 Zulu 4 Victor Juliet, is scheduled to operate this weekend from a site near Mount Longonot with a view of Lake Navisha. Operations are planned for the low bands, 30, 40, 60, 80, and 160, mainly using CW and FT8 modes, depending on local noise levels. Equipment will include an amplifier and receive antennas. And you can QSL 5 Zulu 4 Victor Juliet via M0URX. Nancy Kilo 8 Oscar, who is also VE3 ISD, Charles, has a trip to the Nala region of Tanzania coming up at the end of the month. He departs for Tanzania on August 29th, arriving the following day with his first possible operating time on August 31st. He'll be QRV as 5 Hotel 3 DX in his spare time until September 21st. Quote, operation will likely be catch as catch can on breaks or whenever I can get away for a bit, he says, end quote. He'll have a KX3 and a KXPA 100 running 100 watts, a QMX and QDX both running 5 watts. For antennas, he'll have a ground-mounted vertical and dipoles. Look for him on CW mainly, but also on FT4 and FT8 on 10 through 28 megahertz during the daytime hours. Charles notes that Tanzania is 3 hours ahead on UTC, so take that into account. Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Oscar, Robert, is traveling through the Arctic Islands until September 9th. He's currently on Svalbard until August 24th, operating as Juliet Whiskey Stroke Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Oscar. He will next be QRV as Oscar X-Ray Stroke DL1BJO from Greenland starting August 26th until September 4th. He wraps up his trip from Iceland as Tango Fox Stroke Delta Lima 1 BJO from September 5th to the 8th. Listen for him on CW on 40 through 10 meters, but most likely on 20 and 17. And you can QSL all of these via DL1BJO, LOTW, Club Log, EQSL, and the German Delta Lima Bureau. Italy Kilo 7 Whiskey Uniform Lima, Antonio, is now in Benin, which is Tango Yankee, and plans to be crossing the border multiple times into Toga, 5 Victor. If he can operate as Tango Yankee 2 Alpha Alpha while in Benin and 5 Victor 0 DX in Toga, he will try through September 7th. QSL via IK7WUL. Tango X-Ray 14, Tango Oscar Mike, started yesterday from French Polynesia, which was FO, and goes to August 31st from Tahiti. The ops are F4 DPA and F1 SXC. And with them, they have an SWL, Tom, who is only 14 years old. The station is an FT897 and TS50, 100 watts to a Wyndham and Buddy Pole portable dipole, single sideband. Probably, they say, on just the higher bands. They will upload to LOTW and apparently club log regularly. Chris, VK2YUS, is QRV is Yankee Juliet 0 Charlie Alpha from Port Villa, Vanuatu from August 20 to the 30th, 2025, using sideband on 40 to 10 meters with simple wire antennas and an IC 7300 and 400 watt amplifier. Operating hours are mainly at night, 2100 Zulu to 1000 Zulu. He prefers paper logbooks and will send QSL cards by mail in October. And you may have remembered a few months ago, we had a report about how the waters or the land in Vanuatu is shrinking quickly. And in fact, in a few years, it was estimated they may not be an island anymore. So, kind of in a grim kind of a way, I would try to work these guys if you don't have them. If you're interested in DX podcast and YouTube channels, you should check out the DX Mentor Facebook page and subscribe to be kept up to date on all of DX activities. Contest updates. I know that the ARRL contest sheet is read elsewhere in the podcast, and the contests that I mentioned are sometimes redundant. However, there are a few contests that I have found to be especially useful for DXers who are trying to fill band slots or work on an all-time new one. The first to talk about is the U.S. Islands QSO Party. The purpose of this is to promote the U.S. Islands Award Program to amateur radio operators worldwide, to promote verifiable amateur radio contacts with stations located on islands in the U.S. and its territories and protectorates. The goal is that U.S. islands can work everyone. Non-island stations can only work U.S. island stations. This contest runs from 1200 Zulu August 30th to 0300 Zulu on August 31st. The bands you can use are 160 through 6 meters, excluding the work bands, which are 30, 17, 12, and then also the 60-meter channels. The second contest to mention is the Worldwide Digital DX Contest. The purpose of this contest is for amateurs around the world to contact as many other amateurs in as many Maidenhead grid fields as possible using FT8 and FT4 modes. The exchange is simple. It's your 4-letter grid square. The contest period is Saturday, August 30th from 1200 UTC to Sunday, August 31st at 11:59:59 UTC. The valid bands to use for FT8 and FT4 are 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10 meters. Let me know if you are participating in either one of these and how you do. Please send me an email if you need any details on any of the topics that we discussed or if you have a question. And again, it's thedxmentor@gmail.com. Until next week, this is Bill, AJ8B, saying 7-3, and thanks to my XYL Karen for her love and support. I hope to hear you in the pile-ups. Have a great DX week.